Hello, everybody, and welcome back as we get ready for the last EU matchup here today. It's none other than the one and only INGAGE team, and we get to see Draft Bro.
Yeah, we do. The only draft of the day. Heck yeah. This is going to be great. Already off to a great start. Vaporeon, get that out of here. We don't want no extra healings, no spacing with many waters, no weird flip turnies. Mega Gyarados, get it gone too. Mimikyu and Talion also catching some strays.
I love the fact that Mephil is on that side, so you take that Inteleon out of the fight. Volticons have done their homework here, bro, as we do get to see. It's Volto's perspective we're getting to see here. Huge shout out to Volto. And let's have a nosy at what the next ban is going to be. Mega Lucario taken out by Volticons, and it is going to be the Mewtwo X no longer on the field.
Ooh, this is the first game that we have seen where Mewtwo Y could be an opportunity to bring in. Already, we're going to see the first Pokemon locked in by Volticons going to be Blastoise.
Oh, and the thing is, like, because we get to see this side of draft, right? It's not like how you'd usually see it in a tournament. You kind of get to see the chain of thought that Volto is going through here as they rotate through these Pokemon. I mean, Cypher right now just sitting there to see if they want to go for that or maybe swap something out.
Yeah, going to be locking in that Mewtwo Y. We don't want to go into the hands of Volticon. Engage already off to a good start there, picking up that Snorlax as well. Powerful engage, powerful disengage there. But look at Volticon's Hoopa Blaziken combo. This is nasty.
Okay, let's have a nosy. Let's see what else they want to go with here. Blaziken on the field. That's not an easy task, as that is difficult to take out. Volto wants to see if they can get access to this buzz wall here, and that's exactly what they do. Don't want that double all-rounder combo that some teams take, taking that away with the Blaziken combo.
Yeah, but they're clapping back with an even nastier combo into the top side there. Hoopa Blaziken, we got Psyduck Buzzwall. You want to go muscles? We're bringing muscles.
And we'll have to see what they do for their final pick, because Fizzy looks like they're actually going to pull out the Zacian here. Chari King with the Miraidon. So interesting. Good combo that they've got there, especially in that top lane with the Hoopa paired with Fizzy. Hiyori looks like they are going to entertain. Maybe a support here would be a good shout just for some heals, but I guess, you kind of need a little bit more burst damage. They're going to go for a speedster. It's Talonflame.
Oh, listen, Hiyori on speedsters, I absolutely love to see. Talonflame, strong engage, strong disengage, strong shove as well with the flame charge, being able to come in, send the whole team flying if you're able to get the clap there. And Snorlax there sitting on your team with that block. Nobody's going to be able to stop that from the side of Team Volticons.
Oh, it's so hyped to be able to have the draft screens. Of course, it's INGAGE's team. Let's see how that shakes out for them here. They're going up against a difficult squad. Of course, they've already played, have Volticons, so they've got some good practice already in today's tournament, in today's league, buddy. So they're warmed up. INGAGE, they haven't yet. Let's see how strong they're going to be out of the gate.
Yeah, listen, they got a strong comp. They're going tit for tat on each pick and each comp on each strategy that Volticons is looking to bring out. We have a really strong engage, a lot of great pressure there from both sides, and we got strong healer in the face of that Hoopa versus a strong disruptor in the face of that Psyduck. This could be anyone's game, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. This is hype, bro. This is exactly what we want from these kind of league battles. And I gotta say, of course, we're gonna kick it off with Kyogre. That's the map that we always have, and then it's where do we move to? Because we were quite surprised that Rayquaza actually came out in that game previously, because you would expect that to be the third game, but no, teams are actually recognizing, hey, you know what? Let's throw that in there because we do have the rip strategy that we can go for. Maybe we just want to run the risk of 8 minutes trying to farm up, get those levels, and then it's all about who can win that fight.
Yeah, Volticons was able to play 2 Kyogre maps in their first set earlier today. Then we go into the next set. Kyogre once again hits the field. 3 Kyogre maps coming at your way, but throwing at Rayquaza. Groudon not showing any love. So maybe game 2, teams will be like, you know what? Groudon might be the way. But again, we come to the loading screen. Look at those beautiful teams as we hit it. Engage your purple team. How on point for that. Volticons, your orange team.
I love how they literally changed it as you say
Oh,
that.
of course.
Beautiful, bro. You are right though. When Engage are on the purple team, that will be a thing of beauty. But nevertheless, here we go. Down in this bottom lane is going to be Mifil on this Mewtwo. We have Aslan here on the Snorlax as well that we've not been seeing pretty much any of today. But a good combo of Miraidon and Fizzy on the Squirtle here for Volticons.
Yeah, already off to a strong start there. That Miraidon putting on great pressure there. Look at that. What we already do have a pocket Pokemon each there. We're able to grab a Bunnelby for each side there, but Snorlax coming in strong. Look at that, being able to get it. Gotta go for a little bit of a power nap, but in the top there, that's where the real action's going. This is where the stalemate is most likely to happen.
Yeah, it's all about what all-rounder can hit level 5 first here. They will have the advantage on the back of that. Volto's going to have to go and get out of vision here because look at the way that Volticons is trying to surround them. Was that Leech Life that we saw? No, they've not had level 5 just yet. That they do get the KO does Snow.
Nah, that was definitely the Fell Stinger, but that looked like it definitely was a Leech Life. Maybe it's eluding. It's foreshadowing what the future could bring. Come on, Engage. Show us that Leech Life. Show us the power of the grapple.
That would be so exciting if we got to see that, but because so many people are like, yeah, we're going to go for the Superpower Smackdown because it's such a good combo. But Leech Life does give you great self-sustain, being able to give you a lot of healing from a good shutdown as well, especially on Pokemon like that Blaziken, like the Zacian. So would be an interesting decision as Aslan's going to go into the central area of Volticons here, and that is a huge HP pull.
Yeah, that's going to be shredding down really quickly. We got the Psyduck coming in, trying to help them, but nice serve coming in from the Psyduck, able to help them escape. That's exactly what you want to see. Camaraderie at its finest.
Ooh, 24 points on the board for Engage. No stacks has come through for Volticons. You would expect to see either the Zacian or the Blaziken doing that. They do manage to grab that little bit of farm there, though, on the side of Engage. Brilliant effort from Hiyori.
Now look at those levels here. We got level 7 on Blaziken, level 7 on Talonflame. We now have 2 level 6, 3 level, so quadruple level 6s. Engage just wants to make a liar out of me. But coming in as well, they have 26 points. The only team on the map right now with points scored. But Volticons is looking to change that by putting pressure in the top.
It's all going to be about what Hiyori can do to shut down this Miraidon, as we're already seeing. Very comfortable in that back lane is Chari King with the front line of these all-rounders. And Chari King is a brilliant ranged attacker here in the EU region. They know exactly how far to play up when they need to retreat. It's going to be a difficult task for Hiyori to find those KOs, but they're going to have to do it.
Yeah, we got to look for a way to get in there, but look at that Chari already set down there, looking to grab some farms, a little extra experience to put in its pocket there. A couple wild Pokemon to kidnap, put it in the PC, like we know everybody's going to do there, but they're starting to rip on the Registeel. Speaking of catcher, that's what they want. We do have Aslan coming down. They're looking for the secure. Nah, they're looking for the vision. They're like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, not able to break through Fizzy either. The Regieleki will be taken here, though, by Engage. No, sorry, over on the opposite side. So you got 2 objectives captured, bro, and they both go onto either side. So that's what you want from these squads, is recognizing, yeah, we don't get that one, but we'll come and get the other objective. You've got to alleviate the pressure in the lanes is basically what you're looking to do. So Engage managed to do that up in the top side as they look for Timmy, but they will get back.
They're going to pick up the KO on the Zacian and take it down, but we're already going to see that Snorlax also go down. Tip for tap, trade for trade. We're going to be seeing now into a pressure play from the side of Volticons as they look for the bottom there as Mewtwo with the Talonflame Psyduck defending that bottom pad.
Tell you what, this is a good showing from this squad, though. We've already seen what Volticons can do, winning theirs with a 2-0 victory. Engage here has managed to hold them out without scoring a single point, at least in the mid-stage of this game. 123 in by Engage. So right now, they've stopped any stacking that they would be looking to do on the side of Volticons.
They're saying a shutout is as simple as 1, 2, 3. You know, we're coming into this and we're going to be taking them down. Huge Bs are coming up now as Mewtwo still looking to hold the lane alone against the Miraidon. Engage, tit for tat, poking and prodding, dancing and prancing up in the top lane, trying to bait out a pick from Volticons.
Realistically, at the moment, though, there's not enough points on that board for them not to be scared when going into that final objective. You're still going to have to win it. Rings are let loose here by Daddy Leon as they pull the entirety of the team onto the top lane, and that is way too much pressure for Buzzwole to hold strong. Now Engage have to retreat back to the T1 pad, and Volticons are finally looking for their first points of the game, but it is stopped. Infinite Cyburn comes through. We see the Talonflame looking for the Miraidon. Bright Future Meteor Storm is used to buy that space for them, and all of this going on. Engage have not lost a single Pokemon yet. Talonflame finds Hooper. They rip the Regieleki right now. Mewtwo Y turns around, takes out Blastoise. Engage have come out of this feeling absolutely rosy.
Yeah, there goes the Snorlax there. Still has the power nap in the pocket. Pop the block up there because they want to get that pad broken. They're going to go to pad. They're going to go to base. They're going to say, you know what? Regieleki's ours, but there's a base with Reggie too. One of the Reggie trios of the Reggie roulettes down in the bottom that we need to secure. So already Snorlax is pivoting down. Regieleki's now barreling towards the T2 pad, hoping to push it in there. Still a nasty old goose egg for Volticons.
Yeah, that's tough as well in the final few moments here. They don't have any stacks at all, and realistically, you're not going to be able to get 6 before the final objective here. Volticons did recognize that, Lecky, we've not won it. Let's try and take the bottom objective, but they haven't had enough people here to do just that. So now they send them up to defend the top side. Oh my God! Volto is taking everything here to take them down. They do eventually fall. They were going to anyway, but they're trying to waste as much time of Volticons as they can while Engage goes for the rip on the Regis.
There goes the Mewtwo Y using its basics. The Rings Unbound comes out. This is the last time you're going to use it before the objective. It's going to be the Sasha coming in for the clean clutch. Looking for the Talonflame. Going to be looking to pick it down. They're pushing the pad. They want to turn this nasty old goose egg into that simple 2-1-2 that Engage has on the map there. But they're clapping back. They're coming in for the defense there. But the pressure's too much, so they have to back off.
Good effort from Volticons there. Engage tried to do what they can, but Sovereign Sword was too much from Zacian, and it is going to be taken. They did use quite a lot of Unite moves for it. Good opportunity to do so. Probably the last time that you can in this game before the final objective. And knowing you've got so much farm on your side there to get that Unite move back, it was good recognition from Volticons to get themselves at least in a fighting chance of this game.
This Hoopa has been fight turners. Any of these engages that have been going on between Engage and Volticons there, that Hoopa has been pivotal, especially when it's using that Rings Unbound. Engage needs to recognize this, and even though they are ahead, you got to take it down. You got to pull a Marv. You got to get on top of that, lock it down, set your team up, do something to shut that Hoopa down, because if it's able to go for the Rings Unbound, you're all of a sudden you got to back off.
Now, the difficulty they've got is that they don't have the range that Volticons do. They've got that enhanced charge beam that they can take. You do, of course, have the Mewtwo. Not the same kind of range, though, as Chari King has. And that's going to be tough as the rip comes into Aslan. They've got to use the power nap, eject button as well to try and disrupt Volticons here. Infinite Cybern's going to come through. Who can find the first KO, though? Hydra Typhoon is massive from Blastoise. As they do get disrupted, it is going to be Mega on the side of the Mewtwo. But instead, Talonflame is taken down first. Blastoise goes back to Nurse Joy. Engage is one apiece at the moment. Blaziken is taken down. Methil refuses to go down. The full power Sai stops the damage that strong from Zacian, and it's Engage that finds the KOs here. Jonathan Chari King falls. It's an ace for Engage.
Absolutely demonic from Engage coming in there. Now they do have the lead. If they want to rip the objective, they can definitely go for it, but they're opting not to. They're looking to take the refight. This might be a mistake, but it might pay off. You don't want to jump the gun too early, especially if you look at the respawn timers and you notice they're coming back there. So this might be the better play for them to do. Hop in the bushes. There's a lot of opportunity that Volticons can try to take there, but they have to check these bushes and not get got. Engage could utilize this, but they're also wasting the clock. 45 seconds left, and there they go.
Pushing them away from the Hooper portal as well. Here comes Talonflame as they log onto Daddy Leon. They cut through with the flame sweep, and goodbye Miraidon. Hydra Typhoon doesn't land on anyone. Another 86 dunk in the top lane from the Buzzwole here. 48 points. Right now, Volticon's only opportunity is to take this Kyogre. But whilst it's on the field, it's looking like the game is over. And Engage dominates the final few fights to take game one.
Yeah, I know the phrase, if there's a Kyogre, the game's not over, but Kyogre was still up, and Engage just said, it's over. So they locked this up. They went clean. That was a great 1-0 on Volticons, who showed an impressive, dominating performance against Avalanche in set number 1 earlier today. So this is great to see that Engage is coming out on top this early. This is the advantage they need. This is the advantage any team needs coming into the league.
That was so good. And of course, we already knew the bans. I did like Volticons trying to limit what Engage could do. And of course, Mifel is such a brilliant ranged attacker, bro. Mewtwo Y, you had to let that through because you want to take the Inteleon out, and they really punish you for allowing that in.
Yeah, they took that down. They said, "You know what? You can't have this. This is ours. You can't play this. It's gone. We don't want it to see it." Mewtwo Y was pivotal. So much defense, able to go toe to toe against that Miraidon in the bottom lane. The one weakness I did see of Engage, though, was that Hoopa, the mobility of the Hoopa. Constantly, we saw 5v4 scenarios that Volticons was able to push and utilize because of either the rings unbound or the hyperspace highways they're able to create between the planes. What is it? Engage there needed to find a way because they were always a man behind. The speed on which they were able to rotate was lacking. They found a way to overcome it and they pushed ahead. And again, that good old goose egg there, a complete shutout for a majority of the game.
And it does make a difference because, of course, with stacks, it gives you more attack, gives you more special attack. So you want to be stacking as early as you possibly can so that in the mid game, which is where you're really going to capitalize on having a majority of those stacks, you have an advantage. Volticons didn't have any of that. Of course, we don't know for definite who had a stacking item on, but I very much expect the Blaziken or the Zacian to have one, which limits your all-rounder's capability with the added little bit of damage that you can take and gives a little bit more of balance for Engage. Talonflame had some great moves there as well. Trying to shut down the Miraidon was not an easy task, but we're about to see it. It worked brilliantly in the final fight.
Yeah, it did. The flame sweep coming in, the double knockout, being able to lock that in. Regieleki now playing for the side of Engage too. They knew exactly the tools that they needed to succeed. They're able to lock it in, but this is one of those moments where they just almost dropped the ball there. We do have Volto holding the line in the back there, but they're not even touching that bottom objective. They're trying to push this pad there, and this is an opportunity that you should be able to look at and be like, you know what? Grab it. I see what they're trying to do there. They're trying to grab the KO and the Hoopa there, but listen, this is what happened. You weren't able to grab the Hoopa. They were still able to come down. The Rings Unbound came out for the last time before the Kyogre came in, and they were just absolutely able to turn this around.
Yeah, this was where Volticons really got themselves back in this game. It was recognizing we're not going to get the KO and Hooper, let's go get the rip, because Volto is really grabbing their attention here. I feel like they probably looked at it as, let's try and take out the Uber because they're going to Rings Unbound. But you're absolutely right. You've got to recognize when that isn't working and you have to go and get that objective before you lose the opportunity. Here we go, chat, again, exclusively for Engage GG. We get to see the drafts here, bro. It's going to be Vaporeon first and Mimikyu for Volticons.
Yeah, we got to take out the Mimikyu. We got to take out that Inteleon there. Some powerful players on the side of Engage that want to use them. Mewtwo Y, they said, no, we're going to ban that out. Vaporeon, Mega Lucario, Mega Gyarados. Once again, the staple three. The trio that nobody wants to see. I tried to think of a name, but my brain went...
I love the fact though that they're double target banning Mifil. That is just crazy here to really limit what they can bring on the field. But there's so many great ranged attackers in this game right now, bro. They should realistically try and take the Miraidon away from Engage as soon as they have the opportunity to do so. But we've already seen how important that Blastoise has been in these games.
Yeah, Blastoise has been pivotal to every team that's been able to pick it up. I don't think we've seen a ban on it maybe once in the entire of the 3 sets so far. So now this is across 6 games now. Blastoise made it in. Only 1 game we didn't really see it in. And it's in the hands of Tibby once more. Able to set up great engages. But Fizzy is going to be clapping back and saying, Snorlax was too annoying in your hands. You want to take our Hoopa? Fine, take our Hoopa. Snorlax comes to us, though.
I love that. So not only do you have the incredible Blastoise that Fizzy's already put in an absolute session on, Tibby is now on that. They get Snorlax. That is a brilliant front line. Not to mention the Clefable, a brilliant, like it takes a lot of damage, does that Clefable. So they're really setting this up to have some great speeds to play here on the side of Volticons. Mephil will get access to their tried and tested Mew. People love Mephil's Mew. So this is not going to be easy for them to deal with on the side of Volticons.
Listen, we've seen that older sibling Mew on there. We've seen them come in there. We've seen them do amazing things. 85K amazing things there of what we've seen. Now INGAGE going to be able to pull that in with that littler sibling there, that little brother there, Mewtwo X on Volto. They got the dynamic duo pulling in, and Hiyori says, Blaziken, it's time to shine. Darkrai, Scyther, we're not scared of them because we got the big man fire chicken themselves.
I do like this though. I think the Darkrai is a brilliant pick by Volticons here, knowing the great front line and great CC that they've got on the side of INGAGE, because the sleep is good at ripping down those defenders, Jonathan. So I think that's the approach they're trying to go for, knowing that they're going to have that Cypher on the field. But as you've said, it's not an easy task because Blaziken has great maneuverability, has unstoppable on some of their moves as well. So it's definitely a difficult target for that Darkrai to find. But I do think Darkrai is one of these sleeper picks in Pokemon Unite right now. I think it's an incredibly strong Pokemon, whether you use it as a mainline speedster or even more support-wise using that sleep. I think it's one of the most underrated to use right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people seem to have forgotten about the Darkrai as well, why it was so powerful, why it was able to be used with an experience share before they took away its overwhelming powers. It was because that Darkrai has such good utility that Pokemon comes in. It's like Suicune. Nobody runs damage Suicune. The utility is just so good, and that's what Darkrai is able to provide. The offset from Suicune, though, Darkrai does have good damage. It's a speedster. It has to. Meowth has fantastic damage. People are terrified of that thing. Now you think if Darkrai hits the field, you're not going to be scared of that? No shoe. No way.
Yeah, it's a good comp to pull out for Volticons here, but let's see whether it'll be enough, because INGAGE, they locked in with that game, buddy. It was not easy. We've seen Volticons be so dominant already today. That was a difficult game for them, so they have to bounce back here. INGAGE already have that momentum. They've built themselves a little bit of confidence here with how they played in that first game, so it's all on their side. We have to see Volticons bounce back big time.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to do that. That Darkrai is so strong there. But again, they got other Pokemon in the pocket. They got that Blastoise Snorlax combo there. They got the Scyther there with the full heal, but could be Scizor. You never know. Crazier things have happened. You know, Hyde likes to call it, although I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Scyther there. We just need to be able to cut down a lot of things. So a double speedster to double tank, just so strong there.
Especially with it being Snow on the Cypher as well. They are a brilliant central area player, Snow, especially on speedsters. So this is going to be difficult for INGAGE to come up against, but they've definitely got the capability. A lot of these players are already veterans of the Pokemon Unite Championship Series. A lot of them used to play for BH3, now making a name for themselves in INGAGE GG.
Oh, you love to see it. They got that one dot on their side. You want to see two dots there, guys. You got to see two dots there. That means they take that set 2. Oh, they win it. Take it all, and there we go. So, coming into this, look at the pressure that INGAGE is able to provide. Mew doing excellent work. Hoopa coming in to support, knocking down the Snorlax, sending Fizzy home, running for their lives.
I honestly think Snorlax is my most frustrating Pokemon to play against in the early game. It's brilliant damage, the tackle is good, and when people use it with X-Speed for an invade, bro, what can you do without having assistance from your team there? Did work for INGAGE, they've managed to defend it at least, and they now have Combusken online, but 34 points for Volticons. If anyone's stacking for INGAGE, they haven't got any yet.
Yeah, but they're going to come in there and look at that. They're going to monopolize onto these Swablu's Altarias. The Hoopa came down and let the Mewtwo X a little bit go up top there. That's fine. We don't necessarily need to have that going because look at the points they're raining in. We quickly take the lead once more. 67 to 46 there. Not the goose egg that they implemented into the game one there, but still amazing pressure.
20 seconds before we see Regidrago spawn onto the field. Let's see who wants to make the approach for it. Volticons are trying to get a little bit of control over on the side of Engage's central area, but they now come for these Natus. Aslan is prepared with the vision in the central area as well. Cherry King is here. Double speedster combo will rip this Regidrago quickly. Cherry King is looking to see if they can get some disruption onto the side of Engage, but they've got the beams and they've got the Rock Tomb ready on the side of Engage.
Yeah, they're just slowly whittling down this Regidrago. They're looking for the quick secure on the Mew, but just as quickly, Scyther just says, we're going for the secure on you. They miss it out. The leg screen pushed them away, and Mew secures with an Electro Ball secure.
Bro, you've got to reconsider the approach you take when Mifil is there on their Mew. They find that with the Electro Ball, and in fact, the assistance here to get Crustle back to a healthy state. Aslan comes back, shuts the door on the side of Clefable with the walls going up, and Engage have fought that strong in this early game.
Yeah, you're already going in and look at the fight. There's Blastoise, nice serve to disrupt the Blaziken's combo there. Put them on the back foot there and be like, whoa, I lost my tempo. Got to back up and get a little bit going there. But Regilecki's hit the field. Up the top side, up in the attic, they're saying, you know what? Let's go. Throw some Electro Webs around and some Thunder Cages to boot.
All about what TV can do here to get this disruption through, allow Snow to dive on in with that dual wing beat, but these Hoopa portals, bro, they work a treat as it is going to be a KO onto the side of Snorlax as Engage continued to fight to take this Regieleki. The zoning right now is next level as they hold strong. Not a single one of them has gone down. There goes Mewtwo, but a good effort from Tibi to defend them here, buddy. The Lecky is going to go in. They surf them out of the way, but it's all about Blaziken.
Yeah, Blaziken's able to quickly get their stacks now. Huge gap in, putting in a couple of point there. You know, get more stacks, more experience in their pocket there. The Green Illusion Dive is going to come out there, but the Hoopa Portal comes in. They said, you know what? Hoopa was a great idea. Thank you, Volticons. We're going to make sure we take that this game. And oh my gosh, are they running away with it?
It's literally the game changer right now. These Hoopa portals have been what stops Volticons finding these KOs. They were 1 HP in a dream there, bro, but they go back, get nice and healthy. That could have been a double that they found, but again, perfect portal play coming out from Greg here. Engage, they have control of this so far, but it's still an extremely close game. Volticons just need one good push to take the lead.
Yeah, Volticons is looking to do that in the top there. They say, you know what, that's on 34. We got a lot of points. Let's send it in. We're going for the rip there. Fizzy not able to stop them. Gets taken down themselves there. But look at the top here. They're trying to break this pad, and they do. This is a crucial tool to take away from the Hoopa. It's a T1 pad, and to lose it before the halfway game in the mark, this is what Volticons was aiming for, to try to cripple the mobility that it's able to provide.
Absolutely, you've got to do when a Hoopa is on the opposition side. You see those hyperspace highways giving them so much maneuverability, but now you've got space in your top lane. You've got that pad that you can play off. The opposition doesn't, and we've seen them put so much attention onto the Lekkies in these previous fights right now, but it's going to be Engage that looks to grab just more experience. Looks like they're not going to be too concerned about that Lekkie because Greg is here and they can do the ring call to bring them all up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they got in the pocket there. That Ring's Unbound. They're keeping pressure on the bottom there. They're keeping that Scyther up top. That Regieleki is slowly getting lower as Blastoise looks to do. There it is. The Ring's Unbound. All of a sudden, Volticons knows that's the signal. We got to back off. But look at this. Engage isn't going through with it. They're not following up. They break the pad. They're not taking it. Instead, they're breaking the pad. They do. They're back off. They're coming top. But that's exactly what's not happening. But Volticons grabs the Regieleki.
That was such a shame from Volto. It was so weak, bro. The Infinite Cyburn puts it down to 1 HP, and it's going to be the pumps coming out from Big Boy Blastoise that finds the secure. They do go down to Meatville, though, but Engage has had that Lecky go into their T2 pad. They're going to continue to push this here, though. Rubble Rouser by Aslan, buying a little bit of space for their team, but the Power Nap rebound from Volticons is going to be enough to force Engage to retreat.
Crustle was left behind by the Hoopa portals there, but Hoopa's still there. They're like, listen, bro, I got you on the next one. We'll get you home. We'll keep you safe. Nah, never mind. We're already back in safety there. You're on your own. I'm going to go pair with the Blaziken. The Blaziken goes there. Now we're going to be looking for the bottom side there because there's a lot of experience to be able to grab on this map that these teams want to grab. In the basement, Reggie Roulette as well, and a Reggie Drago on the map. So many choices, so many Pokemon, so little time, though.
Oh, Meeple's gonna have to zoom through. Fizzy with the heavy slam stops them getting back to the home pad. They do manage to get back anyway to their at least T1, but what a way to disrupt a callback coming out from Volticons there. Brilliant effort.
Yeah, they're going to be able to grab this Registeel, and this T1 pad in the basement there is looking a little bit open. They might go for it there, but 22 from the Hoopa, 215, but look at that. Volticon's clapping back and says we can score 2 just as easy as 1, 2, 3 as Kyogre spawned in 30 seconds.
Now, the difficulty is right now, it's all about what you can do to shut down this Cypher with the combo of that Darkrai. Green Illusion Dive is so good when you get a flank onto the opposition, and it's so difficult to get away from it the way that it zooms around that fight. Engage have to find the right target prioritization right now. Not going to be easy as Hiyori has been spotted, manages to get out.
But if the Darkrai was just a moment quicker there on the stuns, maybe even a grab with the Unite move, that might have been it. But they weren't able to grab it there. Snorlax going in for the Engage there on Engage there, surprisingly enough. Going to be able to take that down and back off there as we do have Solar Beams coming up, being healed off by the Clefable.
Feels like the momentum is on the side of the opposition here. Engage haven't been able to get anything going in this bottom side. Volticons have control of the central objective right now. Looks like they may have found Aslan with a good pick here as well, but they've got Rubble Rouser up their sleeve to be used. The portals come through, but Fizzy stops them. Hundo Burger in the top lane from Blaziken. Mystical Mirage has to be used here as well as Darkrai cuts down the space for Volticons. They're going for a rip right now. Only Hooper down for Engage. They do have secure with the Blaziken able to get into the pit, but not an easy task with Cherry King and Snow looking to dive straight onto them. Doesn't get the dual win beat to connect just yet. Brilliant effort from Blaziken to get out of the way. Ring to let loose by Greg now. This is a non-stop fight in the final few moments, bro, as Fizzy tries to cut off Volto. They've gone Mega, and now they cut through the opposition. Hydra Typhoon's going to come through from the Blastoise here. Volticons has actually been pushed out of the central pit. Engage has now got the advantage as Clefable goes down. The rip continues onto the Kyogre. It's going to be the Snorlax in the pit trying to block them through. Can Snow get them secure with the dual wing beat? Yes, they can. Volticons has it, but can they score?
There's only 3 members up for Volticons there, and Scyther's trying to get that HP back. Fizzy's going down as well, but the defense there from Engage is very, very strong. 20 seconds left. 2 scores to obtain at full Hundo Burgers to win this game. Can Volticons do it? No, Engage is pushing them off the pads. They're keeping them on the brink. They're saying, you're not getting this. We're going to win this 2-0, 3, 2, 1. Absolutely demonic.
They got 162 points in on the side of Volticons, but I don't think that's enough as we have a look at the final scores to confirm. Engage takes a 2-0 victory against Volticons, who has already won a set here today. What a fight that ended up being, bro.
Listen, you gotta be feeling so good right now, so strong. Volticons comes in earlier in the day today, 2-0's Avalanche. Now you come in as the perceived underdog of the league, and you take out Volticons. 2-0. You are sitting strong. This is the lead Engage wants to take early on. This is what we're all about. This peak Unite gaming that literally could have gone to either side.
Bro, 123k healing coming out from Daddy Leon there as well for Volticons. What a game that ended up being, bro. It literally came down to the final fight. Cannot wait to see this replay here because in the beginning of that final fight, Jonathan, it felt like Volticons had more control.
Yeah.
They were more confident, but then out of nowhere, Engage just bounces back strong the second that Hooper was back.
Yeah, they were able to keep the fight going, able to keep it going. Like, look at this right here. Volticons is able to find a way to get onto them, but Engage does not care. They turn it around, utilizing their bulk. Yes, they got Clefable, but they also don't have a whole lot of damage between the Blastoise and the Snorlax to burst them down. So they're able to utilize the bulk of Mewtwo X, the bulk of Crustle, the bulk of that Hoopa to just keep putting the praise in. And I love this as well. The rings unbound into the top, but the fake play for the score into the bottom.
Yeah, that is crazy because the second those rings were let loose, Volticons are like, we need to retreat. They're pulling up the whole team. And that actually gave a lot of time for them to even have an opportunity to secure the Lecky as well. A Registeel buff here is massive for Volticons. And I got to say, the first time that fight broke out, the Fizzy disrupting them from going home in the portal, that right there enabled them to have more control on the side of Volticons. As soon as they pick Aslan here, they were the ones that were confident. They find a KO on Hooper here. Again, Fizzy stopping them going home. But the second Hooper's back in the fight, it's all on the side of Engage, and they find some great picks on the side of Volticons until we see Cypher.
Yeah, Engage did a really good job here as well, finding 2 KOs on Volticons. Volticons was able to just absolutely grab that out-secure the Blaziken, and with the Kyogre buffs, that is a great push to put down and the pressure onto Engage there. But when you're in a 3v5 scenario and you don't have that unstoppable scoring, that just makes it a whole lot harder. You are at risk of being bursted. You are at risk at being shredded and decimated. And Engage did a great job on their defense.
Yeah, that was very exciting. So proud of how they managed to play there. I believe we might be able to get ourselves an interview set up, but we're going to head to a quick break. Before we do that, chat, we'll try and get an interview arranged. So when we come back, we can at least talk to the team captain of Engage after that brilliant fight. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack. We'll be back with you very shortly.